Just a reminder here to stay safe out here in the quarantine. Please stay home. Like, subscribe, and share the content that you hear here on the Porn Stars of People podcast. We appreciate you. Check out our Patreon to support directly. Thank you so much for using us as your listening choice in such a weird and stressful time, guys. Porn Stars of People podcast. I'm sorry, no, yeah, they're running. Yeah, that would be your devoted.
Doesn't matter.
No, it's fine. Yeah, you can look at me. Porn Stars Are People podcast. I'm Dan Frigolette here with Alexis Fawx. Thank you for doing this episode at the most possible inopportune time. Thank you for being here. How many AVNs have you been to? You're like a pro vet status.
God, I think this is my 5th one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I started in Miami, and then eventually I made my way out to LA, and now I'm here.
You live in Vegas.
I live in Vegas.
I'm
based there.
What is the like Vegas desert secret to not? Every time I leave here, I'm like on my deathbed.
That's probably because you fucking party.
I don't party at all. I'm completely sober. I just
Do you stay in this hotel?
I barely stay in this hotel. I'm not this strip because it was like strip adjacent.
I don't know why you feel like death then. I see
everything on my body is dried out when I leave. Yeah.
Smoke weed, eat, and sleep.
Okay. I did go to rent a car, and every car that I got into at the rental place like smelled like weed. And then I was like, oh, this is just the guy who cleans the car. Smoked like vaping weed directly into the seats. Like it was terrible. So yeah, how long has Vegas? It was 2 years ago I was here. I think Vegas wasn't legal yet. It's a 2-year. Right?
Yeah, it's been illegal, I think, now. I mean, recreationally, it's been medical for a while. Now it's also rec as well. But the only problem is with all the legalization of cannabis is that, you're allowing. This is a huge tourist area, right?
Right?
So you'll have all these people coming in that want to smoke weed, but then you have no place for them to smoke it.
What do you mean there's no place to smoke it?
No lounges. You can't just go down. So if you go to Barcelona, you can become a member to a lounge, a cannabis lounge. You go in, you smoke your weed, you're happy, you're in a legal environment.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to smoke a joint here on the street. So if you're buying weed, where are you going to go smoke it? Because casinos don't allow you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But you can smoke cigarettes, but you can't
you
smoke
can
weed.
smoke cigarettes and kill your lungs.
What happens
you can
when
drink
you smoke
until
weed
you can't
in
even handle
public
it
here?
anymore? Huh?
What happens when you smoke weed in public here? You can be arrested?
It could happen. For me, who's a veteran of cannabis,
Yeah.
I smoke weed anywhere I want.
Sure.
Because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not supposed to.
But technically, you're not supposed to smoke
Technically, it'd be like having
weed.
an open container.
Oh, wow. So it's just a ticket.
Ticket.
No shit.
Probably a ticket, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's never happened to me. So
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's like the same vibe. It's like when you have the right energy. Well, if you act like an amateur, they're gonna you get amateur reactions back at you.
Yeah, well, I learned a long time ago. If you want to get away with anything, just openly do it, and because no one's paying attention.
Right.
It's when you start ducking and acting like a fucking idiot that people notice that you're acting strangely.
Right.
Dude, put it.
Yeah.
Put this under your lip. That's gonna be noticed. But if we just sit here and pass it, guarantee anybody that came here wouldn't even fuck. You'd have one person that has a really sensitive nose be like, bitch, she smells like cigarettes.
Yeah, that's why somebody just asked me if I'm getting flack for taking the lampshades up, but it's like, no, I'm just acting like this would be normal.
This is a normal thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna put them back when I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
So nobody's talking shit. Well, that's cool. So you are a weed veteran, as you put it.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're a smoker. Do you eat it? What's your?
Gosh, there's so many ways now that you can.
But what's your?
My way?
Yeah.
It just depends on what I'm doing and how I feel about it. If I got muscle aches and soreness, I might use a bath bomb or some bath salts that have THC and CBD in it. Fabulous if you work out.
Is that
Fabulous if you got joint issues because you soak in it.
I didn't know you could bathe in THC.
Yeah, you just fucking soak in the shit.
No shit.
It's great. And then about 2 hours later, definitely highly suggest you do it at night because you will have the best sleep of your life.
Really?
Yeah, and you don't wake up all hungover or feeling like shit because you have it's.
This is how frogs must do marijuana. They just soak it through their skin.
I know. Feel my skin. It's very good.
I didn't know that was a choice.
Yeah,
That's
you can soak in it. You can lotion, salves. You can. I have a breast spray that works great at airports. You just throw it in. It's a mint.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
That's crazy.
You can use that. I like to dab. You can smoke flour. There's so many fucking ways.
You just want it in your body. You don't care how it gets there.
Well, maybe back in the day I didn't give a fuck. I was throwing blunts left and right to the face, but now it's just Got the day off. Might take a couple dabs.
Yeah, I haven't
shit.
figured out my threshold yet because I'm always around people who are more professional than me at marijuana. So like even
I would
like,
be your professional.
yeah. So even like my cousins who might be financially professional at it. So we'll just be at like Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, here's like a nerd rope. Just take a bite." And they'll be like, "Take this much of a bite," and I'll cut it in quarters, and I'll take the quarter bite, and then I'm fucked up. I went to bed at 7 p.m. like on Thanksgiving, and I didn't wake up till like noon the next day, and I was still like a little loopy. Like I literally I did it, and then I like watched Jeopardy, and then I was like, I'm not gonna make it through Jeopardy. It like hit me that hard.
It sounds like a time when my business attorney came to visit me, and I'm like, yeah, let's smoke. Let's see what you got. And he was like, yeah, okay, might smoke a joint here and there. And I'm like, all right. So
you gave him the good shit.
I gave him the good shit. I hooked him up with a good fat dab, and that motherfucker was sitting on my couch. I think he had like a 9 or 10 o'clock flight, and it was like noon, and he's like, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Make my flight.
I was like, dude, first of all, anytime with weed, if you get a little paranoid or whatever the fuck it is, eat something and take a nap. You will be fine.
That is the funny thing.
That is the remedy. Take it, and honestly, you can put that throughout your entire life.
Yeah.
Even
eat
when
something.
you just eat something and take a nap, and then make a decision on it.
You must
swear
be
to God.
You must be Italian. Just eat a meatball.
I might have had Italian in me the other day.
Okay, so that's always my go-to in my head when I get high is like, can I eat my way out of this?
Yes, you can eat
Can
your
you
way
really?
out of it. Fuck
Everybody
yeah,
always
you can.
says no, so I've never
that's
tried.
Bullshit.
You can eat your way out of it.
You can.
I know that.
I mean, think about it. It's gonna start digesting something else.
Because your body's
and you're
processing something else. I see.
And it's gonna, it's a little bit more that it has to permeate your cells.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, all right. So then I'll know now. I'll just go hard on some pizza or something if I get too far.
Oh man, my favorite thing to do is I get really stoned, and I go up to Grimaldi's and I get my arugula salad.
There you go.
Small mushroom pizza and tiramisu. I order it all three at the same time.
Bring it at the same time.
Just fucking pile it on.
Bring it
And
out.
and I'm a small chick, so they all look at there and they stare at me like, how's this bitch
What's
eating
gonna
all this
happen?
fucking food?
Yeah.
She must vomit afterwards. No, I don't.
Keep that shit.
I take a nap afterwards like a champ.
Let me ask you this: how long you been Vegas local?
I got here December of 2016.
Okay, so you should be able to be an expert on this. What is going on with your injury lawyer ads? Why? How come every injury lawyer ad in Vegas is like a dude who's like on a motorcycle, or it's a dude who looks like he's on his way to a magic show? What is going on? It's like dudes in tuxedos with like spangly like bow ties.
I have no idea.
That's not the right vibe.
I don't know. I don't even know who.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know the ad I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
There's one on the highway that says voted #1 again, and he's wearing like an ascot. And I'm like, what is going on? Where are you going?
The license plates here in Nevada are just strange. Like, there's a lot of strange things that go on.
What happens
here.
in the license plates?
Just drive around. They all have something to say.
Oh, people!
And
Everybody's got the vanity
some of them are really
plates.
funny. Yeah, they all like get all creative with their N's and their threes.
I like
and
it
stuff.
when people do the vanity plate, but you for sure don't know what the fuck they're trying to say. Because
Pretty much
you got to
that's it.
remove the vowels. So you're like, which vowel is this
I don't
supposed
know.
to
Is
be?
that 3 is supposed to be an E?
Is this tilter or tult? Like, what is this supposed to say? Like, what are you? Is this supposed to be sexual, or are you a school teacher? Which one is it?
Probably both.
Yeah.
I played as a school teacher before.
Yeah, that is a good role.
And I was
There's the
sexual.
thing. The taboo thing is what has come up a lot in these things. Is like somebody
Oh, the
literally.
stepmommies and the
Well, somebody literally looked at me and
daddy.
they go, "What's the big deal with buttholes still?" And I go, "Oh, you're not supposed to have it. That's all. You're not supposed to have it. That's the only reason." What do you think? What do you think is a lane in porn that doesn't exist that should exist, like from like a taboo standpoint? Like, what should be a genre that we should focus on that hasn't happened yet?
God, there's so many out there. There's really everything for everybody.
I know.
out
It's like we
there.
try to say there's not.
So, like, I mean, you can't even pick a body part anymore. Like, I've just heard everything you could possibly hear.
Yeah, I don't know. So as a comedian, I like to say on stage that the dudes were gross. We don't have any problems. We'll fuck anything. Like, you just fold it, ladies, and we'll fuck it. Like, just fold your elbow. We'll fuck.
Girls
the
are
crease.
more like we want to feel it. We want to see the passion. We want to see like the eye contact. So I've gotten recently into writing and stuff. So like I'm doing it from my perspective.
Sure.
So I purposely like write out like don't do reverse cowgirl because you lose connection with both partners.
Right.
And if it's a female watcher, I'm like, oh, no one's fucking doing that shit in real life. You know, that's all camera angle crap. You know what I mean? So I rather have like the performers fuck and have that connection throughout. You know, we're paid to build a fantasy.
Right.
So let me fantasize. I want couples to fuck, to not just guys in the corner, you know.
Right.
jerking their meat.
That is what's cool about these types of things. Like Exotica's pretty specific. I haven't been on the floor much in this one, but it feels like there's these things where because there's the kink classes, couples come and they like want to learn. They want to like meet the person that they're like watching together, and they want to learn together. And there's something like it's like a safe space here.
Yeah, I have a lot of couples that watch me and stuff like that, and they're always asking me, different things, and about anal, and I just give it, advice.
What's the opening anal question?
Well, how do I get my girlfriend or wife to do it and stuff like that? Yeah. Or, and you can see the girl's face like he's going in dry. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's not naturally lubricating. So make sure you just fucking lube the shit up. Over-lube it. And it's not going to hurt anything.
Right.
Squirt some MIP in there, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Take some CBD. I'm coming out with CBD capsules you can pop in your ass.
Okay.
They'll fucking dissolve.
Yeah, I learned from Wolf of Wall Street that your ass will take any drug you want.
Pretty much. So you just throw a CBD lab up there. It's going to relax. Just think about it. It's going to relax your girl. For sure. She's going to, like, the laundry list of shit she has to get done, like the laundry and ironing and all that's going to go away.
Right.
Going to open up that butthole a little bit. Lots of foreplay. Dude,
the CBD whisperer.
Foreplay is going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to open up your butt.
No, it is. The times that I've had organic anal, I'm like the Trader Joe's of anal.
It's also fat free.
I've had organic anal it's like it wasn't like a thing that was like necessarily on the table, but the session moved to that, and it was very natural because it was like we were connecting.
Yeah.
And then there's the other ones where it's like, well, let's try it, and it's like that one's not good.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's ever been like, oh, just throw it in my ass.
Well, they just say just throw it in their ass. I'd be like, are you?
It's like, hang on,
am I gonna be comfortable?
Let's hang on. Yeah.
Can we take this a little slow? You're just gonna throw it in your ass.
Time out. Yeah.
How's your vagina at that point?
Yeah. It's like, if anybody just goes switch holes and you're like, we didn't talk about this.
Is this like delivering a caption? Am I going to be up to my elbow in this?
Elbow deep. That's my favorite hashtag.
That's my mom.
That's your mom?
Just kidding.
Where did you grow up?
Small town of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Well, it's on which side? Are you on the Philly side or the Pennsylvania
South Central
Pittsburgh
PA
side?
Oh, I'm South Central.
Really?
Yeah.
So like Altoona? Like, are you near that?
I know where Altoona is.
The college town?
It's closer to D.C. and Baltimore.
Okay.
About an hour and a half north of D.C. and Baltimore.
Yeah, that area is weird. I had like not a residency, but that's just a Vegas word. But like I had a show that we were running in Altoona, and there was this weird entitlement happening in Eastern PA that I couldn't quantify. Yeah.
Entitlement
it was just
for what?
So every time we would like seat somebody at our comedy show, they would get up as soon as our backs turned, and they would sit themselves somewhere else. And it might be 4 seats down, and it's like it's not even a better seat.
It's not, is it?
It's just like we didn't like that you told us where to sit, and like that was like it's this weird thing.
It's a fucked up state. I don't even go back.
It is a weird place, right? It really is a weird place, and there's a weird everything. Not that it's more or particularly racist, but like all of the themes are showing up in this in PA everywhere.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, I never go back to my hometown.
Okay,
it's just awkward and strange for me because I never felt like I fit in there.
Yeah,
I remember being like 12 and be like, how the fuck do I get away from these people?
Interesting.
Yeah,
so
I knew
from a
very, very, very early out. Huh?
What was your first stop out?
First stop out, I went to the Air Force. That's how fucking desperate I was.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I need out of here. So let me go do it.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. I was in the Air Force.
Where'd you get placed?
Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it was fucking cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the vibe of North Dakota?
But I was one chick out of like a couple hundred guys, so that was nice.
Okay, so you took advantage.
Yeah,
That's
I did. That's where I get all the porn tricks now. No, I'm just kidding.
No, so what was that's interesting. So wait, what was your setup of the Air Force? Did you fly anything? Did you?
I loaded KC-135s. I was a load master.
Wow.
Still am, but just a different type of load.
I love the pros. Just bang, bang, bang. That's great. What else? So then from Dakota, where did you end up?
Bowling Air Force Base, DC.
Okay.
So from North Dakota to DC, and then from there I got out at DC, and finished up college. I have a degree in physiological psychology and specialization.
Physiological psychology. What
Specialization in neuroanatomy.
Does that mean
how your brain and body are connected?
Okay, so like I can convince myself that there's something wrong with me because I'm so like I have such emotional trauma that it then becomes a physical problem.
That is part of it. It's not the only thing. Yeah, it's not the only thing. It's also like ever sit at like a stoplight and you're not moving, but it feels like shit's moving.
Yeah.
So we looked at the physiology of that, like the physiological and psychological aspects of like why your mind and eyes are doing what they're doing.
Right. Or like somebody loses an arm, but they can still feel their hand.
Feel it,
yeah.
or like the sympathy pain, or whatever it's called. But yeah, it's pretty interesting and stuff like that. I just really find it intriguing how our mind and body work.
Yeah, let me ask you this. This is the thing I've been trying to explore for a couple episodes. Is every time I've come to Vegas and gotten sick a bunch. I went to another country, South Africa. Generally speaking, I'm a comedian. I travel with my dog, and so I'm trying to track back whether I've ever been sick near my dog. I'm pretty healthy. The only times I've been sick is when I get away from my dog. Is there anything to this sort of like leaving somebody or having like a companionship that's so deep that like when you separate, you can have physical ailments?
Well, I think absolutely that could happen. I mean, you look at some of these older couples that have been married for a really long time, and you always hear it like, oh man, my grandfather passed, and then 6 months later my grandma did, or vice versa, or 3 months, or even a year. There's something to say about, it's not just about that one person. I think it's about you lose companionship, you lose touch, you lose communication, you lose, and I don't care who we are. We need that in some aspect. We need to have someone reach out and be like, hey, it's okay. Let's look at each other in the eye.
That's why I
won't
do these interviews on Skype. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a part that that part that you're no longer receiving. You're not receiving that touch. You're not receiving the parts of your love language. I think that's what helps contribute to your ailments.
Sure.
You get depressed. You get sick. You get stressed.
Yeah, my good night's sleep is based on this fucking creature being swirled into me.
Yeah, I stole my assistant's dog, so now I have two. And so when one's down this way, I can grab the other one. Yeah. And it's comforting.
Right.
It is.
You get sandwiched in?
Yeah.
You get hot dogged in?
I just get off here, you motherfuckers.
What do you mean you stole your assistant's dog?
I did. I stole it. In fact, he wore a shirt today.
What's your assistant
Alexis
doing
Fawx
now?
Stole my dog.
What's your assistant doing now?
He's helping out another performer.
No, but dog-wise.
Oh, he gets visitation right now when I go away.
What the hell?
Yeah. No, dead serious. I
too much
I looked at him in the eye. I'm like, I'm stealing your dog.
Oh, shit.
And I was very honest about it.
It's funny. People, this is like a dating tactic that I find my girls be like, I'm stealing your dog. But I'm like, try. Try. Open the door. Try. She's not going with you.
She's not going. She's attached to you.
I never understood the thing where people's dogs run away. Because, like, you open the door for my dog, and she'd be like, are you trying to heat the whole neighborhood? What are we doing here? If you don't go, I'm not going. Talk to you. She's a half Dalmatian, half pit bull.
Oh, my God. How cute.
Right now. So, this was my favorite moment. It's the first time I ever did a road trip without her. And she knows that, like, car is safety. Car is, wherever the car is, I'm going with that guy. So, I think I'd rented a car here, and I drove it all the way back to like Syracuse, and I was about to return it in New York. And so I'm swapping over the shit in the car, and this is the first time she's away from me. She's staying with my folks. She thought I died when she saw me. Super excited, ran the house 3 times.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Well, it is, but it's also like it's a little sad. And so I'm moving the stuff that is mine back into my car so I can return the rental car. And she sneaks out the front, hops into my car, and like sneaks in the back and just chills in the back. She's like, okay, as long as I'm in the car, I'm going with him. And nobody, and so there was like a minute of like nobody knew where she was, and she's just in the back, just hiding so that she could go with me. It's a very smart concept.
Oh, she's adorable.
Yeah, she's great.
I have 2 little Shih Tzus.
What's how old?
One's 9 and the other one is 7.
What is a Shih Tzu temperament generally? Some people do not do a good job, and their Shih Tzus are shitheads.
Oh, mine are just adorable.
Yeah.
They're just incredibly spoiled.
Do you do the floofy?
No, they're docile. They have mohawks.
Yeah.
They're really good dogs.
Do you now? Shih Tzus are almost like they're like in that human hair category, right? Like their hair keeps growing.
So they're not hyperallergenic.
So do you shave them? You shave them into mohawks?
Just their little heads.
Or you just style it into a mohawk?
I shave their head into a mohawk.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Do you have a photo?
I don't have any. Oh God, I have 50,000 photos on my phone. To find one right now, I'd be here like, I'm just gonna screw through all that. Oh, there's a butthole.
There's a butthole.
Every girl in this building right now has a picture.
Butthole on their phone. Yeah. We're in a new era. I think everybody has a butthole on their phone right now. We're in a new era. It is. I was like tracking back, and I realized that I have had online picture exchange sexual relationships with people who I never met.
Wow.
People who I've never had sex with.
You've sent a dick pic.
I've sent plenty of dick pics, but it's more than that. It's like when I was touring and Tinder was new. You could only Tinder in the town that you were in, so I would Tinder, be gone, And then that person, then the match would come in, then we'd converse, and then I'd be 3 cities away, and I'm not going back. So then there's like this thing. So then like I would be sending nude photos with somebody in Omaha while I'm in San Francisco, and that was
long distance dating.
Yeah, and then but then I never met or fucked that person. It's weird.
That's weird.
This is a real lane that exists in today's society.
I've never been on Tinder.
Yeah, I don't feel like you need to.
I tried a dating app. This is like a long time. I'm such
Which one did you go
I'm
for?
a lone wolf. I don't even fucking remember, but it was the first and last time I ever used an online dating thing, and it was the worst experience ever. I'm an organic person.
I'm at the level where I use it as a resource for the fact that comedy's a thing, that I'm going to be in a city where I might not know some people, but generally speaking, I'm not finding love on there. I'm not finding necessarily sex on there.
You're just looking for a companion to hang out with.
Not even that. It's
local?
like, cause sometimes it just turns into an Instagram follow. Sometimes it turns into somebody seeing me in a show 5 years later because they fuck. Because it's like if we never meet up, we never fuck. Then your partner can't be jealous of you coming to the show. Now it's just 5 years later, and I'm a guy that you knew that was a comedian that's now in your town. So it's just sort of always putting myself out.
Yeah, I think it went sour. I thought, let me try to be safe. I thought, okay, I'll accept this from like an older dude or whatever. And I think it caught on that it was like, oh, this guy really does recognize me, and it was like an 8-hour fucking journey, and I was just like, I made up excuse. I was like, I gotta go home and barbecue a steak.
What was the 8-hour thing?
Oh, it was just like we went out to dinner, and there's like, oh, let's go over here. So we hopped into a car, and then it was just like, oh, it was just awful.
Okay, here's what guys do.
I felt trapped.
Yeah, here's what guys do. We do this thing. This was fun. Actually, this was funny because
it was a hostage situation.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Is it weird that I'm driving to the date on my own?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I've never picked up a girl for a date." I was like, "What year is it?" Like, you both show up separate.
Well, I showed up separate, and then it was just like we were going somewhere, and it was just easier to hop in one car. And I was like, "Yeah, it's an old guy. Like, whatever. What is he gonna do?"
No, I get anxiety. I'm like, I'll drive right next to you. I'm taking my car.
That was a lesson learned, and then I was just like, "Fuck this! I'm not going to do it." It just felt really unnatural for me.
Yeah. Well, guys do this thing where in the short term and in the real dating world, I think guys still think that there's sort of a third date rule that women want to abide by. So what guys do is we try to take you on 3 dates in the same night.
That's exactly
so that we can finish up. Because we think in our dumb dude brains, our Neanderthal brains, that if we take you to a new location, that's now a new date. Look at the itinerary. We went bowling.
Took me about 4 or 5 dates.
We went to dinner.
And it was like ridiculous.
We went to the comedy show. We've done we went to the nightclub. Then we went to the diner again. That's 7 dates. Obviously, we've made it all this way.
Yeah. Let's go all the way, buddy.
Yeah, we think if we spend 8 hours with you, then I think we're fine. I think we think if we've done 8 hours with you, then we've completed the task somehow. We've gotten there. It's like,
I was like scratching at the windows. Yeah. I literally said to him, I was like, I need to go and barbecue a steak.
Yeah.
That I have in the fridge.
Was that a valid excuse?
And kinda not, but I didn't barbecue. I just said fuck it. But literally, he was like, "Oh, how about I come with you?" And I was like, "No."
You're not reading through the lines.
I was like, "No, I really want to do this alone."
Yeah. I just really need to be alone when I barbecue my steaks.
When I'm barbecuing steaks, I just really.
It's just a personal thing. I need to be alone. Interesting. I ran into a pocket of dating where I met a girl who couldn't feed herself, and it really bothered me.
Couldn't feed herself.
She couldn't feed herself. Now, so like let's
couldn't bring a fork up to her mouth.
No, she wasn't handicapped. No, let's remove.
What dating app were you using?
Handicapdating.com, wheeliedating.com. Let's remove the gender roles thing, guys paying for stuff, whatever. Let's not make it about the fact that I feel like that I should or should not or don't want to be obligated to pay for somebody's food all the time. But it was literally like, no matter which time of day we met, she would show up, and then immediately the first task would be like, "Oh, I haven't eaten. Let's go eat." And it's like, what's happening? Can you eat when I'm not around? Like I have a particular diet, and I eat at a particular time every day, and so it's like, well, we meet when it's convenient. And it was like this thing where she like just couldn't find a way to feed herself, and I was like, what is happening? What is your life
without her day?
Yeah, what is your life?
Ask her?
And because I didn't want to be disrespectful. I was like, is it the money thing? Like, do you need I'll send food to your house just so that you don't have to.
Do you need me to buy you groceries?
Yeah, what's happening? Like, why is the food thing? Because it's like that's not a fun time. Like, that's not that much of a quality time thing.
Right.
It's like watching each other eat food. So it was just like, and I was like, but I was so stuck on this thing. So I was calling friends, and they're like, just feed this bitch. Like, what's your problem? And I was like, no, she needs to learn how to feed herself.
And it was just this weird vibe. But yeah, it's weird. So it's weird that you were able to get out.
I eat snacks before I meet out to dinner.
It is weird that you were able to get out of the 8 hours because I figured he would be like, no, I'll just feed you.
No, I think I made it very clear that I was like very done.
It's time for me to leave.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I want to go home and barbecue a steak. Like,
I'll do anything.
That wasn't even like I want to wash my hair.
It's like I'll do anything to not have to look at your face. Can you just send me?
Can you just can you drop me off at my fucking car? Yeah, it was awful.
That is hard. That is a hard thing. That is a thing that's that componently, like as a dude, I can bail at any time, and I've learned that it's I've
walked out of dates.
Yeah, if it's not going good, I'm not
gonna waste my time.
Yeah, it's like
I have better communication with myself.
Yeah, I was on a thing the other day, and I go, it's like somebody was being like somebody got really drunk, and then they got really intense, and I was like, hey, like, I think I'm gonna go. Like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
You're being a little bit of a maniac. I didn't have a better word, but I was like, you're being a little bit of a maniac right now.
I would have said high maintenance.
Yeah, well, I guess I think high maintenance is more upsetting actually for a woman.
I wouldn't give a fuck at that point.
Unless they actually have mental health issues, and then they think I'm calling them. You're being a maniac, and they go, I'm not a maniac. But
my dad used to say that to me.
I think high maintenance to a regular person is almost the worst thing you could say, woman-wise.
You're being a little high maintenance.
You're being high maintenance, right?
And I didn't come here to be a maintenance man, so I'm out of here.
Yeah. So
I don't like the intensity, and I don't drink, and I don't go out to clubs and stuff very often and stuff like that because
you're an 80s baby.
I just like to smoke weed, but I just don't like sometimes the vibe.
No, it's
people get a little fucking crazy and weird and edgy, and I don't like it when it gets loud. I'm just like, there's no difference between like fun loud, people laughing and roaring, and you hear that and you feel that in the crowd. And it's a great vibe. Yeah. But there's a part where it's like that alcohol. I've drank too much.
Right.
I don't want to babysit you.
I could never hit on a woman like in a mime status. I never understood clubs. I'm just supposed to come up and like dance on you and like, no, this is not the part of my body that speaks. This is the part of my body that speaks.
I don't want this.
This is the part. I need this part to do the work to get you to hang out with me.
Yeah.
So then I'm like yelling in somebody's ear, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I don't want to be here now."
Yeah. I don't like the whole club hookup. I never was like that either because of the same reason. I
couldn't figure it out.
I would go to I lived in Miami for 17 years, so I would just go to the gay clubs and dance my ass off because. It was the safest place. Yeah. I didn't have to worry about getting rub downs or inappropriate. I mean, you get a couple little squeezes in the titties. It's fine.
I will say this, though, about a gay club. I will give gay clubs the credit. Gay clubs can be hookup places.
Well, they can.
If you go to a gay club as a straight couple, gay people will encourage you to like hook up with your girl, which is fun. And it's like, and it's totally in the thing. If you try to hook up with a girl at a straight club, they kick you the fuck out. You can't finger a girl at a straight club. It's not a thing. But at a gay club, they're like asking you to fist her. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I didn't realize this until like mid 20s dating. I was on a date, had to go to the bathroom, whole line of gay dudes hanging out. They dug me. So it was like, it was tight vibes with the girl. She was like, she wants to want to wait, and this thing is fine. I'll respect for that. But I came back from the bathroom, and like she was all like hyped up to like go home with me. I was like, what the hell happened? And then she went to the bathroom, and the gay dude's like, we primed her up for you. We've been talking you up. So then every time I went to the bathroom, the gay guys were like, you got to suck this guy's dick. What are you doing? I was like, this is great. I'm just going to hang out with gay dudes from now on.
Wingmen.
They hook it up. Yeah, they're the greatest wingmen.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. My Miami days were great.
Yeah.
That's some good times.
Miami's a fun spot. What was your favorite area of Miami to hang out in or live in?
So I would say when I first got there, as I was there for 17 years, it was definitely South Beach.
Okay, and it's changed a lot.
Yeah, it's changed, but it's changed a lot since I was there. Yeah. So I got there and I was in my 20s. It was like really fun. Yeah. But towards the end of it, I would say Coconut Grove and Coral Gables were my favorite spots.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay.
It's a little bit more quiet, a little artsy-fartsy. Yeah. Things you can walk to, but not quite as crazy and loud as South Beach all the time.
But they're starting to get a little bit up. I mean, South Beach has gotten more South Beach, and then those areas they can be like entertainment-y. Like, I've never done a comedy show on South Beach, but I've done plenty of comedy shows in Coconut Grove and Coral Gables.
I used to go to the comedy show. Yeah. What was it called?
I don't know why that club closed.
I don't know either. It was fucking great.
It was either the Improv so it's the same company that owns them. So
I could tell you exactly in my mind where that location.
And I can tell you exactly the weekend that it canceled because I was supposed to go on a show at the Coconut Grove Improv, and I got down there, and then the club had closed over a weekend, and like they didn't tell anybody.
It was like this. I lived in the neighborhood, and I went to go get. I was like, why is this place closed?
Yeah.
I was just here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It was such a cool spot.
Comedy clubs are notoriously hard to run, and they can fall victim to being like sort of seedy establishments if they're not run properly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because it's just a weird where the money comes from. Like it's not necessarily coming from the tickets, so that you get the people in, you do the drinks and the things, and comedians sometimes get paid too little, sometimes get paid too much. It's just a weird business model.
Yeah, I host and produce a comedy show in L.A.
Nice.
Yeah, called Highest Fox. It's
very
cannabis
cool.
friendly. So
Very cool.
we smoke a little bit before, we smoke afterwards. It's a little bit of a variety show. So we have comics, we have music, and we have like different acts.
That sounds great. Have
it's
me.
a lot of fun.
There's
I will.
There's a guy I met that's a Vegas guy who I did like a I don't want to say shitty bar show, but it's a shitty bar show 2 days ago. And this guy his idea was to drop LSD and then do comedy. So he's like, come Saturday, come to the show. He's like, but you got to drop LSD. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. And it's like, but you can drop LSD. And I was like, I would just have me on as a regular person. I'll do regular comedy, like whatever. Because it's like the amount of pressure that was in it. It's like, I've never done acid, so I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea or not.
Yeah.
But he's like, you're doing LSD. And I was like, not in this environment. Not in this much of a pressure.
Can I do it in a more peaceful environment,
yeah,
please?
not this much pressure.
Dude, that would be a lot of pressure.
But yeah, I don't know. So it doesn't feel like the right drug. Although I guess a lot of people do drop acid and then write jokes. So maybe.
I don't know. I've never really did. I do a lot of psychedelics, but I don't write jokes on psychedelics.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. I don't think I could personally handle the pressure of having a bunch of people staring up at me on a stage.
I don't think
it's
I could.
nerve-wracking as it is.
I don't think I could perform on mushrooms. I think I gain insight about life on mushrooms, but I don't think I could.
Mushrooms at my house.
I don't think I could. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do.
Let's go to the desert and fucking go to the Red Rock.
I got a pool. We can just jump in it and warm it up.
I had this experience where I did mushrooms first time. A buddy of mine gets cluster headaches, and so he gets medical mushrooms.
Yeah, it's great for that actually.
And so he was like, let's come, we'll microdose, whatever. And I have a high metabolism to the standpoint that like if you give me a substance, I'm in it quick.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm in it, man. And he was like, no, you're not. And then he looked at me and he goes, oh, maybe you are. And then I started panicking for a second. And so I got outside of myself where I was like, okay, nothing matters. And then I came all the way back to if nothing matters, then I should be hitting this thing as hard as I can. Because it's not going to matter later. It's only going to matter now.
Right.
So it's this weird fun moment. But I don't know how that's going to translate on stage.
Yeah, and I'm plant-based. I don't do LSD anymore and stuff like that. I think it would be really awkward on stage, especially if you were peaking. God, I would be fucked up. I don't even know.
Just yelling at people.
But the microdosing and the mushrooms, like I could get that.
Yeah.
Like that's easy. Like I do that on a regular basis.
Sure.
I think that's a really good way to kind of be creative.
Yeah.
But that's microdosing. I'm not doing like any hero dose of 5 to 8 or 10 or 12 grams.
Now you're outside of my purview.
Yeah. Now that's me in a dark room.
Yeah.
Figuring out my own personal shit.
right.
Coming out
deep,
sobbing,
going
shit
deep
myself.
And being like, that happened to my sister once. Oh my God, what happened?
Exactly.
Repressed memory. Oh man, that's cool though.
Yeah.
I do like that. I don't know. I've always been like an inherently sober person. I never understood. I've never felt that good in those sort of like. I've always felt confident and comfortable enough in who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
That the reason why people use substances never like really worked, like made sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's like a social lubricant. Like no, like.
I don't need any.
If I don't want to talk to you, there's probably a reason.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. And everything that I do is not for like the plant based is like my cannabis and then my psilocybin and stuff like that. And I do psilocybin by myself.
Yeah.
I don't do it as a party.
Right.
I'm not going to be hanging out and doing anything with anybody else.
Right.
When I go and do ayahuasca, I'm doing it with a shaman. I'm doing it very like.
This is the stuff I
like
dig.
really sacramental. Like
right.
it's not a party for me.
Right.
Like sometimes it's fucking scary as shit.
Yeah.
You know. And I don't like.
I'm
super sensitive. I don't want to be around a lot of people.
Do you hit it as like a learning experience? Like, what's your?
Yeah.
Are you trying to like delve deep and like learn about like being a human? Like, what's your mentality in it?
I did a lot of ayahuasca for a while. For 2 years straight, I probably hit it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like I was going down to Peru. I had a shaman in Miami.
This is the one where you're probably gonna vomit.
Yeah, you're gonna vomit. You might shit yourself.
Yeah.
I wear adult diaper. No joke. Shit. Yeah, seriously, I do. Because you might lose control. I mean, once that hits, your body feels like it's actually going through a death process.
Yeah.
And when you die, you lose your bowels and stuff. And that's
right.
usually why people have
Well, so where's this rank on like the DMT scale?
Well, DMT is only going to last a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Where ayahuasca, because you're digesting it, once you start digesting it, it can last, depending on your metabolism. Mine's pretty fast, and yours sounds like it is too. So yours would probably last anywhere between 4 to maybe 8 hours.
Wow.
So for some who has a slower metabolism, it may hit them later, but it may affect them 10 or longer because they're metabolizing their body.
Right.
For me, it was transformational. Definitely like the feel of death, the feel of nirvana. I can look at pictures now, like from 10 years ago to now, and I'm like, wow, who is that person?
Who is that bitch?
Like, you could see it in the eyes.
Yeah.
It's really fucking weird.
Weird. What do you gain? So what's your take on like, does it make you more aware of death? Does it make you less afraid of death? Does it make you more accepting of life? Like,
all
what's
of
the
those
thing?
things. I think of actually all of those things. And it's such a personal journey for each person. And I think like the more and more you get in depth with it, the more and more it's like peeling an onion.
Yeah.
And the more layers that you peel, the more you're going to go deep. And the further, and you just when you think you know it, you don't.
Yeah.
So it's letting go, not being in control of situations, allowing things to flow as is. Really kind of going into the roots of your issues and your problems versus just taking a medication to get rid of the symptoms at the time. And that's what I mean. Like, and when you do get sick, it's not like having the flu and where it feels awful to throw up or whatever. It's like once you find, like, you feel it's like an emotional
It's a fun vomit.
Like this one time, I wouldn't say anything's fun vomit, but it feels good, to be honest, because it's like whatever was holding me back or keeping me emotionally tight and could have turned into a disease, a tumor or whatever. I think that's what stress and our emotional issues can turn into. You're releasing that, and it's like, fuck. Like, it's almost like a weight has lifted off your shoulders.
So it feels like a purity thing.
You're like, oh, Jesus. Yeah. Just detox that, and it feels really good.
There is something, I mean, there is something nice. And in all levels, when it does feel like you're getting rid of when you're getting rid of toxins, like I get like I get like a desert fever when I come out here, and I woke up this morning just soaked, and it's gross, but I was like, okay, I'm like almost a real person again.
Yeah, but sweating is good. Actually, crying is really good because you're getting rid of all those.
Let's have a good cry.
Yeah,
I like to have like a physical. We do like a physical challenge as like behind the scenes content and like safe for work. We'll just have a good cry. That's what we'll do.
Have a good cry. I'm good. I can cry with you.
All right, that would be the. Does that genre exist?
Huh?
Does that genre exist? Is there cry porn?
I'm sure there's someone out there. Well, think about it. Like, I mean, I do femdom. I don't mind if the guy cries.
Yeah. But is there just two people, no
like,
sex,
use your tears as fucking lube,
no
you
sex,
asshole.
no nudity, just two people crying?
I'm sure there's probably somebody out there.
We get
There's something for everybody, dude.
Yeah, that is the thing you learn, and because once one thing becomes normal, then we move on to the next thing. Just as humans, it's once we get good at a thing, then it becomes less. That's even like with working out, it's like muscle memory and stuff. It's like you want to like mix up your workout because you're just gonna plateau. So it's like that sex is that same way. It's like you've done something so much that it just doesn't have a feeling anymore. So we just keep getting to the next complexity, and sometimes it's a loop.
Sometimes you get your search history goes way off the deep end. You're like, I really don't want to ever show anybody that. Let me delete it.
Yeah. Right.
And then it goes right back to like vanilla sex. Like, oh, look at that husband and wife having missionary.
Yeah.
That looks fun.
Now I'm in this loop of comedy, nightclub, porn is the norm. So then now I see somebody in like a business suit all covered up, and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening right now?
No.
Look at this bitch wear a blazer. Are you kidding me?
Is that shoulder pads? Fuck. Oh my God.
Like, so there's.
Reminds me of my teacher.
Yeah, it is. Humans are weird. We're weirdos.
We are.
We're weird people.
We're fucking really weird. I mean, think about it. Our brains and our central nervous system. It's like a fucking alien in there.
Yeah.
This is just a this is just a flesh puppet.
Yeah, and then the more you learn about like the animal kingdom, the more you realize we're all kind of doing the same shit.
We are. We're all connected. It's all in the life tree, dude.
Yeah, when I go heavy and I watch these like Planet Earths for like 8 hours, then I realize like, oh, they're doing the same shit we are. They're picking mates the same way. It's the same shit. Fucking birds see like an extra,
you ever been scuba diving?
No.
Let's go scuba diving. This is the thing like I just realized.
Yeah, what?
Like, okay, so you have the line, and everything above is like your air, and you got your birds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fish are just birds of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the scales, feathers, same thing. The little lips, the beak, same thing.
Yeah.
The little fishtail, That would be the
and
little feet.
And there's something.
I'm telling you, there's the exact same thing, and there's a whole universe underneath that ocean.
Yeah, I like in like 4th grade. I did a whole project of all the fish that have evolved to have like lamps on their heads.
Oh yeah.
There's ones like all the Finding Nemo shit.
Oh yeah.
There's one that has one up here,
Yeah.
and then there's certain like barracudas whose like flesh kind of glows.
Oh, it's so amazing down
That's
there.
wild, yeah.
Definitely try it. And I'm
Yeah.
scared of having anything around my face. It's like I also like to take things that I have a fear of or a boundary and like try to like going underwater. The ocean is like this huge life force. So
Sure.
it's quite scary for me to have something.
How long have you
around
been
my
scuba
face.
diving?
Just recently. I
Yeah.
just started this year.
So where do you scuba dive in Vegas?
Oh my God. In the lakes.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I flew to Miami and went down to Key Largo
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Wait, so what is in a Vegas lake?
Not
Just
much.
wild shit? No?
It's funny because I lived in Miami for 17 years. And I
Yeah.
ended up getting certified out here.
Right. It's the wrong place.
like-
I'm in the desert.
You guys never certified in the desert. Like, what are you doing?
That is funny. Yeah, there's plenty of things that I should probably be challenging myself to do that I haven't. Have you ever thrown yourself out of a plane?
Yes, I love it.
Is it a thing you do more than once?
I have.
Yeah?
I mean, I think it's like whatever you want to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
But you, I'm
But
you,
me,
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I like the free fall.
Nice.
It's like so quiet and so peaceful for like that 40 seconds of that 120 miles
Is it
per
really
hour, I
is it
think.
really that fast?
Yeah.
This whole thing is
And all
just
of a
for a
sudden-
minute. Yeah. What's
awesome.
what's the moment when once you pull how long is that part of it?
It's fairly long. It's not like super long. It's a
Yeah.
couple minutes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the one because I've just because I have a vague height thing. I have a height fear.
Oh, okay.
So then I've just removed that as a choice.
Yes.
But I think I would do it under the right circumstances.
Well, you're going to go tandem, so someone's going to be on your
Yeah.
back. You're not going to be responsible for pulling it.
Yeah.
So you just got to have trust in it, and I thought I would be really super nervous.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. It was like
Interesting.
all that nervousness just left the window, and I just
Yeah.
floated out. It was awesome.
I am more like from the visual aspect of it. I'm excited because the closest I ever had was I was in one of these like 360 like helicopter things, and it was like when I was a kid and I went up in this like private helicopter with this guy, and you could just see everything. It was like Willy Wonka. You're just like in the glass elevator.
It's beautiful.
And you can see
right?
everything. So you get that vibe, and you got nothing stopping you. That's the part that I
That's what I enjoyed
that
too.
I wanna
The
be
earth
involved.
looks so cool from that high.
Yeah. Do you hike out here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just hiking the Valley of Fire on Tuesday.
What is the Valley of Fire?
It looks like Mars. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. Where is that?
Hour away.
Okay. I did Red Rock first day. I did some shit on the other side of town.
Go to Mount Charleston's really cool.
Okay.
Check out Mount Charleston.
I
It
did
might be a little
French.
chilly
I
out
did
there.
Frenchman Peak thing.
I
Do you know what that is?
I don't know. I have all trails, so I just plug it in all
Yeah.
trails and go.
I just wanted to get to something that was up high that I could take a picture on top of the city for the gram.
Yeah.
Because I'm from the Northeast. So when we hike, we go up to shit
York?
and then we come back down. Yeah, I'm from New York State.
I'm from Pennsylvania originally.
Yeah. So we just go up to the top of shit, take the picture, and then come back down. And then a lot of people on this side and then the middle of the country, they just do they'll be like, let's go to a hike, and then you just go to one end and you walk back.
Yeah, and some it's like
So
like
what the
already
fuck
like
was-
paved. I'm like, this is
What
not
is this
a
hike?
hike.
This is not a hike. I can see a fucking power line.
I
What
have
are
the
we doing?
Appalachian Trail.
I get very mad. Yeah, I get very angry with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I'm like, this is such a pussy trail.
Yeah, you're on the AT. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
like
god,
it.
all I can think about is a burger right now.
Okay, well let's wrap. we're at the mark. We can wrap. Plug your stuff. I mean, you're OG, so tell us how to pay for your porn. Tell us how to find you on the internet and the fastest and easiest ways to follow you.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm Alexis Fawx. You can find me on Twitter for my scene updates at Alexis Fawx. That's FAWX. For Instagram, because we have to keep it super clean.
You're such a
You're
pro.
going to find my travel, coffee, comedy show, all those updates, things that interest me on my Instagram, and that's at Alexis Fawx Live. You can pay for my porn by going to my OnlyFans page. That is www.foxfans.com. You can also buy my coffee at High AF Coffee.
Oh,
That's
yeah, coffee?
yeah, I have a
Oh,
coffee
wow.
bean. Yeah, so if you like coffee, baby,
Fuck
let me know.
yeah.
So you can buy coffee.
Is it weed coffee?
No, it's not infused,
Okay.
but I'm working on a CBD line, so I'm going to start doing the pre-rolls.
Very cool.
Because it's a lot easier to sell pre-rolls
Yeah.
of CBD than THC right now.
Oh yeah.
Unless you get a good license. But yeah, so anyway, I have a coffee, so it's High AF Coffee. And then we're going to be starting up the comedy show in 2020 here soon. and hopefully take that on the road as
Hell
well.
yeah.
And it'll be really fun.
I run the Hoboken Comedy Festival. Let's bring your show to Hoboken.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's the Porn Stars People Podcast. Check us out on the YouTube content that we have today. If you're listening, we are on iTunes or Google Play, whatever platform you're on. If you switch, we got you. We're on Spotify. We're sponsored by Spunk Lube, rebroadcast by the Demon Seed Radio Network. We got a Patreon, so you guys can start to tell us what you're into and that you want to see that we're not doing. Check out we got some BTS Safe for Work content. I'm going to come up with something for us to do real quick for about a minute. That's going on Instagram. Thank you guys for listening and watching. We drop a new episode every Monday. Thank you to my guest.
Thank you.